Hey everybody, I just finished another book in the Nightmare Room series. This is called Visitors. This is number 12 in the series, the very final book or not the final book, but the final, like standalone book. There's like a trilogy after this. But yeah, the story itself follows this kid named Ben Shepley. He, is obsessed with aliens and obsessed with proving that they exist. The story starts off with him in this, in, his, I think it's in his bedroom. He's on his computer and there's this message that pops up that says, "Hey, there's a warning of an alien invasion." And yeah, he wants to prove to his friends that aliens exist. He is out in his woods one day and he finds this little rock that he wants to show him, and the rock like vibrates and he hears noises coming from it, but none of his friends really believe him. Him believing in aliens does contact him getting bullied. Um, and in one of the weirder scenes, the kids like lift his shirt up and bully him, and he has like an outie belly button, so they start flicking it, which is bizarre. Yeah, very strange stuff. Um, he gets kind of discouraged, and he walks in the woods, and he notices there's this figure eight out in the yard, in the woods, and he thinks spaceship was landed, so he has to go tell his friends. He goes. His mom stops him for dinner, and he does eventually get them to go out there, but they of course don't believe him. They think he's crazy. Um, they think that he's like basically really obsessed. Um, he's on the computer again one day, and he sees this thing pop up. Saying that be on the lookout for different warning signs of an alien invasion, and there's like multiple lists. I don't remember exactly everything, but one of them is like a amphibian replication or something like that, and it's basically just like a bunch of frogs popping up in random places. There's one about plants, growing in different places and different things like that. People acting very differently, and all of this happens. He gets up one morning, he sees, or in the middle of the night, and he sees a bunch of frogs just in his bedroom, hopping out the windows. Um, he has this friend that bullies him, and she's out like I think she's like really nice to him or something, and she's like skating a figure eight on ice. Um, yeah, his parents start acting weird. He sees this like blue flash of light in the attic, and his parents tell him to stay away. And yeah, um, that's really all I'm gonna say much for the plot because the plot isn't very big here. It's basically this kid trying to prove that aliens exist, and that's it. He runs across things that may or may not lead to aliens. Yeah, I think this book gets a lot better in the second half. It does get pretty fun, I guess. There's a twist in this book that I actually really liked. Um, and without that twist, I don't think this book would have got a high as of a rating. But I did like it. The twist was kind of ridiculous because there's answers for different things that happen, and they're very random, but they're like, oh, okay, it's like if you're arguing with like a sibling or something, and they're like, oh, well, I'm infinity this or something, and that's kind of what it felt like. I can't really explain without spoiling it, but yeah, um, yeah, I did enjoy the twist, but the negatives are certainly here. The pacing was very off. The aliens don't show up until like the last three or four chapters, I think. And even when they do, they're not super intimidating. Um, I can't really say much more because I don't want to spoil it. I do think you should read it for yourself. But yeah, looking back at the cover, I remember I was gonna say this was like clickbait. Um, it's kind of not because there's a certain shape on the front of these aliens that tie in with the book, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, Nightmare Room Visitors, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5 stars. Not super amazing, but not terrible either. Definitely on the lower end of the Nightmare Room book series, but pretty decent. Yeah, 3 out of 5 stars from me, guys. Please let me know in the comments below. What did you think about Visitors? Is one of your favorite Nightmare Room books? Yeah, please let me know. Thank you. Bye bye.